Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90. Brought to you by Finance Trust Bank. Putting women first. Allowing no great public. Rush clean. Spectrum wants to hear your views. You can SMS at any time during the show. Type Spectrum, leave a space, type in your contribution and name, and send it to 7197. Your views, our interviews on Spectrum, Radio 1 FM 90.
A very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us here on Spectrum. I'm host Edmund Chizeta. Good evening. On Spectrum tonight, we are Friday panelists reviewing the major events of the week. Some of the issues we look at the fate of Amama Mbabazi, looking at what has just been happening and these perceived ambitions. Yesterday they took out all the military guards, not even one was left. Instead they brought policemen, 7 of them, in place of 12 guards. They expect the Chief of Defense Forces, Katumba Amala, says this should have happened a long time ago. But the way it was done raises questions. There was a lot of drama. The media was calling. Could we not have done it quietly? Some people think if Mbabazi joins the opposition, he could defeat Museveni in the next planned election in 2016. The Executive Director of Research World International, Dr. Patrick Wakida, said yesterday, Mbabazi probably has 10%. The opposition probably has 10%. Then they put it together, you have 60% and Museveni will walk home in retirement with a clear loss. We'll talk about that. We also talk about the planned triumphant return of President Museveni and the anticipated purge of the NRM. President Museveni, they have said that he's going to come tomorrow like a hero, very much like the way Dr. Wesley returned from Nairobi after he had been treated for an eye problem. He will arrive in the morning. Members of the public have been called to go and welcome him. He will address a rally in the Mayor's Garden in Entebbe. It's not happening in a very long time. So we are wondering what exactly is he celebrating. We'll talk about that. Also, the Lord Mayor and his deputy have been fighting in the media and outside of it. The president of the DP has attacked the Lord Mayor, Elias Lukwago, who some people think desires to replace Mao. So I think it's a power fight in the DP. This Dr. Mushabe, Executive Director of the African Rainbow Alliance, is a lawyer, also an aspiring member of Parliament from Mawogola County on the NRM party ticket. You're most welcome, Dr. Mushabe.
Thank you, Edmund. Good evening, viewers, listeners, and my fellow panelists.
Also, Madam Sarah Eperu, spokesperson of the FDC Women's League. She was in the contest for Ngora, and she's coming back in 2016 for the assembly. You're most welcome, Madam Sarah Eperu.
Thank you, Edmund, especially for the last bit of my introduction. Good evening, viewers and listeners. I wish you a good listening.
And Mr. Vincent, Deputy Secretary General of the Democratic Party. You're most welcome, Mr. Mayanja.
Thank you, Edmund. Good evening, viewers and listeners.
Also, Mr. Morrison, Rwakakamba, Special Presidential Assistant on Research and Information, also Chief Executive of the Agency for Transformation. You're most welcome, Mr. Rwakakamba.
Well, thank you, Edmund, and good evening, viewers and listeners.
Yes, because we're also on the internet, you can get a video of Spectrum, any of the Spectrum recordings off YouTube, the internet channel. Madam Sarah Eperu, why was Mbabazi treated the way he was? They fired him when his boss is traveling. He gave a statement and said, don't read it until I've left. And then a few days later, then he gave his guts with a lot of drama. Why is he being treated like that?
Thank you, Edmund. For the listeners who are keen on this program and who have been listening to me, I think I've been consistent in what I have been prophesizing. I think I'm a prophet. One, I know Mr. Mbabazi was not going to be free. You know, what you're saying right now is a replica of feminism. What we're seeing Mr. Museveni practicing is what Amin used to do. The difference is that Amin never went to school, but Mr. Museveni went to school, but is doing the same crude things, most of things as Amin did. With Mr. Museveni, I have always said, and I will say again and again, as long as you're not challenging his seat, you can do any other silly thing. You can steal money, government money, as many times as huge sums as you can. You can do any other nasty thing, and he will forgive you. But the moment you start challenging his seat, he will do everything he can possibly do to muzzle you. he will do everything he can possibly do to suffocate your intentions. So that is what your sins are doing to Amama Mbabazi. Unfortunately, what hurts me and pains me about him, they have been seeing many of these things being done to our opposition leaders, the Amama Mbabazis, the Kenyas, the Mike Mukulas, and the like Kotogong, those who have always cited having a night at the seat. They have seen all this happening and they have been keeping them. So these are the things we have been telling them, that this gentleman is not does not have any intentions to have a democracy in the country. He does not want to listen to divergent views. He does not want to see anybody opposing him. That's why he's doing all these things. I feel sorry for Mr. Mbabazi. This has just started. But if you'd like to think and imagine what will happen to him, let him look at what happened to Dr. Besigye. If it is in terms of closeness, I think Dr. Besigye was closer to Mr. Museveni than Amama Mbabazi.
The power of the injection at some.
Of course. So if he treated him to that extent, they put him in prison because he wants to contest for presidency. They trump up charges against him. Fortunately for Dr. Besigye, he was clean. Everything that had to be used to fight him was trumped up. They had to trump up rape charges and
no,
they never. Then why could they prove it in court? So with Mr. Mbabazi, I'm very scared, extremely scared. First of all, unless he has guts like Dr. Besigye, I'm not seeing him coming out to say that, I like this thing. They're going to use those same tactics, using proxies to show his intentions. But the moment it comes out like this, you're going to see what is going to happen.
But you are saying you will never stand against the president.
What is best?
Do you think he'll stand in 2016?
He would have loved to stand, but the conditions, he's not clean like Dr. Besigye was. There are cases they can open up against him. What happened with Michael Mukula and the Jimmy Roses? When Michael Mukula said, I can stand for presidency, they brought out the global funds and the government funds case and things like that. Because they were there. He had some skeletons in some But with Amama Mbabazi, he has money. So they are going to use everything. What they did yesterday really was uncalled for. How do you embarrass a person in less than a week like this after sacking him from his job? Really, I thought maybe the regime is so inhuman. It's not appreciative. The contribution Amama Mbabazi has done, even if I'm in opposition, I know there are things where he has prevailed, where he has been smart. For example, if you compare all the Secretary Generals we have in this country of different parties, he has performed extremely well. So for somebody who has kept, a dictatorship in place,
there is no dictatorship in East Africa.
Oh, who says there is here? There is here. Then why are they doing that to Mbabazi? Because it's a dictatorship. If this is a democracy, why can't they let him, exercise human rights? If he wants to contest it, why don't they let him? So in a dictatorship, as we are having here,
my sister.
We are having it. I don't want to waste a lot of time. No. So with a person at Amama Mbabazi's caliber, the performance he's had, of course he has had, you can't be 100% perfect. The big degree he has given credit to LRM for, they should have treated him.
Listen, Mayanja, you are a journalist for a long time. Do you think, reading the signs, do you think Mr. Mbabazi will stand against Museveni? He will stand in 2016 because we don't even know if Museveni will stand. Maybe he'll go and look after his cows. Well, the number of scenarios you can actually look at. As a matter of fact, Honorable Amama Mbabazi is the Secretary General of the NRM, the ruling NRM. He should be having leverage over the structure of that party and even the chairman, President Museveni, because President Museveni is quite busy. He doesn't attend to none of these details and things like that. If Mr. Amama Mbabazi really wants to stand, it is going to unfold. It is going to really be a different case this time around. What do you mean? Because first of all, the Secretary General, I'm in the Secretariat at the Democratic Party. Yes, if we teamed up with my boss, Honorable Suruga, to say that what comes out of the delegates conference is what we want, we can do it. Oh, definitely. You can stack records in it. No. We control the structures. We control the documents. That's why there has been a battle over the NRM register. Because they know that this is where the problem is. That's where the power lies. That's where the power lies. And I want to believe, I've talked to a few people across to Amama Mbabazi, and they said that it is 70% likely that Amama Mbabazi will offer himself. What happened yesterday, in fact, before come to yesterday, you say if he went to Angola, and they stood, the delegates would vote Mbabazi, you think he'll stand for chairmanship? I was talking to a friend, and he had this very interesting scenario, that he sees a situation where President Museveni realizes that Nambole is so much infested with the Mbabazi guys, and you know what he would do? What is he would do? Bill Wamtharika. What is that? You know, Bill Wamtharika, when he realized that he had won an election with a very small margin, he knew that there was a problem in the party, and he started a new special purpose vehicle, which was similar to the ruling party but far different, and he created it. That's the vehicle he started using. He brought in new approaches, did he start a new political party? I don't remember. It was a new political party. Right. And somebody was saying that, you know what, it is Museveni who is going to form a new political party. Have you seen Museveni run out from DNR? You can't say things. I'm telling you, Museveni will run out of there, go and form another thing, and then he runs from there. But that's a big one. But what all these people say that, you know, this man is trying to deviate from our original plan and things like that, and they forget that this one is focused. And they remind me of a professor who said, who said the same question 2 years consecutively, and where his assistant asked him, "Sir, but these are the questions you said last year." And he said, "You know what? Yes, they are the same, but the answers have changed." So President Museveni will be presenting himself as usual, but it will be a different set of scenario. We'll talk about yesterday's event in a minute. What did you say about yesterday's event? You know, yesterday confirmed that the establishment or the president is so aggrieved by what Amama Mbabazi does, because a colleague with whom we have been for so many years, he has been that trusted person 40 years. He is the only person in Uganda who is the first person to have been the Minister of Defense under Museveni. He was the first Minister of Defense. If one of Museveni held that one very tightly. But because he clearly trusted him, he gave it out. He was one Prime Minister who has had that power. He could appoint ministers, he could make decisions on anything, and he could ask nobody. He was, that's the person. Which means that he was very close to the president, and even if there is a fallout, you don't treat him like that. So it's confirmed that really Museveni fears that this man is going to present himself. Well, this is given policemen, not all the use of Chiroko sport. Dr. Mushabe, what do you need in all these events? How do you think Mbabazi will stand?
Well, I think he will stand. I predicted a few months ago that Amama Mbabazi would not resign from those positions, whether it is the prime ministership or secretary of the party. I also further predicted that he was going to set up President Museveni to the extent that he would decide to fire him. That therefore, after firing him, Mbabazi would look like, look, I have always declared my allegiance and support to my long-time friend. He's the one now who has turned against me. He's the traitor. Now, I think so far, Mbabazi is playing his game so well. But he's playing a good game against a person who has money, the military, and all sorts of power. With respect to withdrawing guards, that is money. The other former Prime Minister, what was done? Vice President, withdrawing is okay. The drama. What is unique is the style, the method. and which seem to be choreographed to embarrass and humiliate the man, showing that he's small. He's small like any other person walking down the street. So that is why I think there's a big show of power.
So he holds no government position.
Exactly. To show that, look, this guy, we can do whatever we want. If he dares challenge the establishment, this is what we are going to do. I think it was designed to send a message to him and his supporters that, look, we can crush this guy inside. So it was embarrassment. So with respect to what my brother said, that the president might form a new party, I think it is highly unlikely. But when you look at the trend, the history, we came with a movement which was all embracing, broad-based and all that. Then a few years ago we came up with the cry, let them go. And then from the movement to the party. So we might come up with a new cry also this time, saying let the Mbabazi and others go. Then we come up with name, all go. No, still they will say let them go. They will say now we are purging, we are remaining with the crime de la crime.
But how do you purge? How do you make the situation with the delegates conference? The man has the voters register.
No, but you can you can form another delegates another register. And you know, they told us about a while ago, or from another party, that actually they can overthrow their own government. About a while ago. Soldiers said that it's written that. Yes. So always had coups. So even the party can be overthrown by some of its members. They can overthrow the party. The Secretary General. Is that the end of the David view? So the moment he says, I'm away. We have party headquarters in a rented place. But what maybe one last remark here. With respect to NRM, I also predicted that if President Mushabe decided to leave peacefully tomorrow, he would end up with the 20 parties sprinting from NRM. So so I agree with my sister. Just like, was it like Napoleon, or it was Metternich? Let us I am the state and the state is me. So NRM is the president and the president is NRM. There is also critical analysis of the forces that are at play.
There is also a criminal deluge. That is whatever happens after maybe you can have a flood. Morrison, welcome. Talk to us about this thing. Why is the majority man treated this way? And do you think you ran on what platform?
Well, I don't understand when people say the way he was treated, because first of all, by the president making changes in government, it is his constitutional obligation to do that, and especially when he wants to re-energize, bring speed, such that what he promised, what the political party promised to deliver to the people of Uganda in 2011, comes by. So when the president makes those decisions, it's not that it's the first time. We have had a cartel, several prime ministers, we have had a number of ministers, we have had a number of public officials who have been removed and hell is not breaking. So when I sit here and listen to people discussing, this situation and this event, I'm like, perhaps, I'm enjoying these debates across the country, because all political parties, all analysts are really advertising the national resistance movement, the politics of the national resistance movement, the engagement, the democracy, the contestations, the debate within the political party. They are humanizing it, and for me, that's extremely very, very important, because they are forgetting. Like I listened to my friend Eperu talking about no democracy in Uganda, no democracy in Ngora. What they're talking about, instead of the Eperus going to mobilize, because in Shamut, I think, cleverly, in a way, advised them very well, but we are losing, we are consummate losers. We have a rosary of problems, and those problems emerge because we don't have structures. We are just in Kampala shouting. So when you do so has been very clear about it. So instead of these political parties and pundits, giving all this credibility and advertisement to NRM, my own point of view is that they should be busy, making sure that their own house is clean, that they are organizing and preparing for 2016 elections. And so I really see that there are issues there. I mean, Mayanja, you say, do you say that President Museveni is on from another political party? How can you say that? President Museveni created, how can he run off from what he created? He created the NRM. He articulated the ideology of NRM. NRM is one of the political party in this country that has a clear, well-defined ideology around the 4 principles of Pan-Africanism. You can see we are causing change across the continent, and then the place of Uganda in the world, in the UN, is high. Yes, you may not want to talk about that, but the Pan-African agenda has been on course. The nationalism agenda has been on course. Fighting sectarianism has been on course. Socio-economic transformation, if you look at the data sets, has been on course. Rwakakamba is contradicting himself by talking of 60% because he delivered the most important report, this Research World International poll, which was done by RWI and the Daily Monitor, which put President Museveni, because the question was anyway about President Museveni was NRM, and the citizens of Uganda said, we like the man, 80%. Before Mbabazi fell out. No. The question was not about Mbabazi. It was about President Museveni, the man, President Museveni, the leader, President Museveni, the chairman, President Museveni, the anchor, because all other people in the NRM actually support staff in terms of the way, because people of Uganda vote the chairman, the articulator of these issues, and Paul Rwakakamba Research World International and Daily Monitor put President Museveni at 80%, and that's not long ago. Right. Instead of political pundits and political parties going to really market their agenda, they continue marketing NRM, and my own point of view is that is extremely perfect.
Do you think Mbabazi will leave the NRM?
Let me tell you that nobody can disintegrate NRM from within, because they will face the wrath of the party members. Did you see? The party members won't allow anybody to disorganize. And I can tell you that Honorable Amama Mbabazi remains the Secretary General of the NRM political party, and we expect him to continue doing mobilization for the NRM and the leader of NRM. He signed on the resolution in Chankwanzi, and there is this other point which I think is well, and I don't think I need to mention it, because I think we are clearly speculating. Amama Mbabazi left the office of the Prime Minister. He's still a backbencher member of Parliament for Chinchizi. For the first time. Nobody has constrained him. You're talking that he's not free. Who says he's not free? He's going to his home. He's going about his business. He's representing his people in Parliament. While are we speculating? Let's take up the business spectrum already, and we'll be right back. Mr.
Sorry, my dear. May I put my shopping bag here? Oh, no problem. Thank you. I love the new taxi pack. It's much cleaner. Agreed. And speaking of clean, the sachet looks interesting. I've never seen it before. Look, it's the new laundry powder from Mukwano. I had to try it. Oh, is that Mama? I've heard about it. Apparently, it makes your washing smell sensational. They said this Mama washes cleaner than clean. Such a pretty sachet. Yes, and I'm told that Mama cleans and softens your washing when you need two in one action. My sister says the color is still bright too. Save money, save time, and get the fresh fabric softener all in one with new Mama laundry powder. I think life just got a little easier. Mama knows best. Discover new Mama 2-in-1 laundry powder from Mukwano and wash cleaner than clean. Wash after wash.
Excellent. You seem confused. What's the problem? I have one attender to supply equipment. They need a guarantee of 50 million shillings. I thought your bank would finance just one. Yes, I'll give them. Why worry? What you need is just a bank guarantee. Actually, the guy mentioned
that we are now a full-fledged bank and can only cater for all that, from overdrafts in asset financing.
What is asset financing?
Like when you want to buy a boda, taxi or tractor for your farm, what you want to buy becomes the security, then they give you the money and you pay later.
And finance trust banker, my buddy.
Sure.
Let me go. I know they will sort this out for me.
At Finance Trust Bank, you will find all your banking needs under one roof. A special account for women, savings accounts, current accounts, and loans. We serve you with trust and convenience. Visit us at any of our branches countrywide. Finance Trust Bank, putting meaning first. Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90.
Welcome back on Spectrum. Tonight we review that we are talking about the issue of Amama Mbabazi. They took out the military soldiers. They surrounded his home. They brought some red tops, military police. They don't listen to instructions except for those from above. They took away his soldiers. Some people think he'll join the opposition. Some people think he'll beat Mushabe for the flag bearer position in the planned delegates conference in Ngora in February. They said we're discussing that. We also discussed President Mushabe is returning as a hero. So this is when we went to London, he said he would return as a hero. He's never returned. President Mushabe is coming back tomorrow. Crowds are expected to meet. He'll address them at the Mayor's Garden tomorrow. The people discussing this matter with us. Dr. David Mushabe, Executive Director of the African Rainbow Alliance. Mr. Eperu, Spokesperson for the FDC Women's League, Mr. Vincent, the Deputy Secretary General of the Democratic Party. He was also journalist for a long time working for the Agence France Presse, the French news agency. And Mr. Morrison, Rwakakamba, Special Presidential Assistant on Research and Information. Madam Sarah Eperu, which platform do you see Mbabazi standing on? Do you think he's going to join the opposition? Do you think he's going to sue the delegates conference in Ngora? How is he going to do it? You know, his diplomatic passport has even been taken away, but how is he going to do it?
As a person who has been in the opposition for a long time, every person who does something that weakens my major opponent, the NRA, is welcome. Whatever the Amama Mbabazis, the Kenyans, whoever is doing something that at least will reduce the popularity of NRA, pleases me. So I'm scared, extremely scared of thinking it comes straight to opposition. The other week we were discussing Mr. Kenya when he said he's not going to work with opposition parties. But today he's saying he's opening a team up to start winning opposition. That is because, of course, I've always told you I don't believe in him. But Amama Mbabazi is a very intelligent gentleman, very calculative. So he's going to keep us guessing all the time. He'll do this, he'll do that. I want to say something when I hear a word from his mouth. Because when you say, I think he's going to do this, I think he's going to do that. But if he really believes in what he's doing, I have spoken to his wife closely.
You have spoken to his wife?
Yes. I know the line that they're towing, but I'm scared if the man will come out. If he had the guts like the wife, like Jacqueline, he would have come out.
To become one person, tell us, please, some things. What are they planning?
I think she has more guts than the
Explain to us. She tells her husband of Eperu, run for president, he will run.
I don't like to speak. I don't want to rescue myself.
Madam, there's only a few of us here.
I don't want to spoil my relationship with her, but I'm scared if really Amama Mbabazi will come out. But before I go away, my friend here was mentioning earlier.
Did you focus on the issue?
Yes, you brought in Janamutu and must come out and defend my party. Janamutu could not have told you that. Because unless you don't know, Janamutu has been mobilizer for my party since so I don't think you come out and tell you that you didn't have this and that. So
it's a matter of public record.
Let's say President Mbabazi and leave FDC out of this saga.
Morrison, do you think the opposition will take this man away from the people?
Well, personally, I don't think the opposition has the bandwidth to engage in politics of grand mobilization and politics of getting people like Honorable Amama Mbabazi on their side. But if they achieve that,
let him go.
I mean, the NRM is a mass party, like Honorable Amama Mbabazi himself has said. It has had a historical impact on development and transformation of Uganda. It has members who are ingrained in all parts of Uganda and doing mobilization work and doing everything for the political party. So that would be, in my view, a futile move. And as as the NRM, we do expect that Mbabazi will remain a loyal member of the political party. And like he wrote in that letter, waits to be assigned to continue serving the country.
It could become an RDC for all we know. Dr. Mushabe, do you think he's going to join the Party of National Unity or another party and campaign against Museveni using a different platform?
You see, just like my sister said, Amama Mbabazi shares so much with President Museveni. These are two gentlemen who have learned the art of keeping the Republic in suspense. You speculate, and then they hear where the majority are falling. And that is why Amama Mbabazi has not said he's going to contest, but it doesn't mean he's not going to contest. I think his silence means that he's taking he's taking account of the views and speculations and the realities of the people. But I think in the final analysis, I see a man who is going to contest against his former boss. How is whether which party? NRM? Of course, you see, he has been insisting that this is the party which he formed when he was still a young man with President Museveni. And he has insisted that nobody can chase him out of his own party. He has been on record saying that. So I see an inside fighting.
Does not say
there's going to be an infighting as who should exit or who should not. And that is where the genesis of the crisis is going.
This is Mayanja's thesis now on stage.
I see President Museveni running away from that thing. I'm carrying it. Is he going to join the opposition? And should the opposition endorse him? Briefly, I would just quote the biblical story. Which one? Of Saul. Saul was one of those big persecutors of Christians, and when he turned around on the Damascus road, it definitely became the biggest preacher of Christianity. And I would really say that if I get Saul who becomes Paul, I will embrace him.
This in mind, do you think Amama Mbabazi is going to be persecuted together with his supporters? What kind of persecution can we expect? Let's talk about his diplomatic passport, so let's line up in the departure lodges like that.
No, before we speculate whether he is going to be persecuted or whatever, we need to appreciate one thing about Amama Mbabazi, that he has forced his adversaries to campaign for him. Because whatever they do is really showing us that this money,
recognition is going up.
Yes. I need to mention one thing, that many people have left the NRM, many huge people, and there was a lot of speculation. Bidandesadi, Kategaya, and all Chiza Besije, Mujishamuntu, and the country has kept moving forward, and the NRM has remained strong. So I don't think the Mbabazi would make a mistake to say, let me leave NRM and join the forces that can never make an inch of an impact into the politics.
So you think he might outweigh his adversary?
Absolutely not. He will stay loyal to the chairman of the NRM, because the chairman of the NRM has both the backing of the party, of the multitudes of the party faithfuls, NRM faithfuls in this country. The chairman remains faithful to his secretary general. So
the smaller person is supposed to be let go. Regardless of whether you were hurt or not. Let's talk about tomorrow, Madam Sarah. President Museveni, he's got a big rally in the Ngora organism. They said you can go to Entebbe the way you want. What is good? What is he celebrating, President Museveni?
Look at the gentleman who has been in power for 30 years.
20 years so far.
And he's still managing popularity. When Dr. Besige came back from Nairobi, who invited who? People went in there. When Gatano came back from wherever he was coming back, I'm comparing scenarios. When Senegal, remember that who mobilized people? Let me tell you what happened recently in Mbale when the initiation of Mbale celebrated.
The president was there as chief celebrant.
I come from Ngora. They sent buses to pick people from Ngora.
To do what?
To go and boost Museveni in Mbale.
What do you mean?
Somewhere, people from FDC party who saw money there, and then they said you must also climb and go. Each person was given 100,000 shillings. But whose money was it? That's the taxpayers' money. That's what has been.
Some people sell their cows. People sell their cows money.
That's money we should use for making roads. So for a whole ceremony to start mobilizing to, study manage popularity, it is abominable. I do not know what's going to even today when I took my car for service and some boys came around me. Then we call what happened during election time. During election time they pick sets of people. They take the brothers, they take these people, Uganda people for video watching.
Yes.
They take them to the president. Then they say, great, us, I think we're high class. They gave us 200,000 each during election time. But as you're coming back in the car, you have to say this man is for who's going to vote for him?
This is Mayanja.
They are going to spend a lot of our money because, he feels threatened. He wants to, people imagine that he's still popular. Yet these are things that are done by a person who is not popular. Because if you are popular, see your deeds talk for you.
This is
you have to throw no as someone has to do something.
What do you think our beloved president is celebrating? Will be hugged by the Secretary General as a Tama?
What I was thinking, but the organizers of this party or whatever triumphant welcome have not told us what they intend to celebrate. But I was thinking that maybe they are celebrating his birthday because his birthday can happen anytime. He doesn't know when he was born. So maybe they are going to do that in Italy. And I have no really right to refuse them from celebrating whatever. But if they are really welcoming Museveni back from the USA, that is very funny. They need to tell us the rationale.
Because the General Assembly is in Uganda. They are going to welcome them over that triumphant. Okay.
Well, I think this is not
when Mr. Being Secretary General, a lot of people could not get the Ugandan passport. Honorable
Amama Mbabazi.
Honorable Rwakakamba was the president became the president of the Security Council for 6 months. I think that was a major achievement, and they didn't organize something like that.
So what do you think they're celebrating?
I'm wondering also, but the other scenario is that maybe the president is panicking, and I don't want a president, I don't want a leader at that level to be panicked to that extent, and I would definitely ask whoever is doing that. I have heard that they have even organized a party in governor for the
only ministers will go to dance
for the governor, for the ministers, and
they're not going to put bullies in their life. Dr. Mushabe, what is the president celebrate? What is the celebration?
Well, of course, it is on record that our president starts campaign immediately after elections. While other presidential candidates are tied, their hands are tied, they campaign in the last 6 months before elections. So this is another campaign. Let nobody be, fooled. This is another campaign. But at the same time, we also have to acknowledge that whereas his popularity has ended, he's still the most popular politician in Uganda. Also, we must admit that the management style of general popularity. Let me make my point. The management style that is pregnant with corruption, that is pregnant with bickering and stabbing in the back, and people fighting for his favor and all that. That is the one which has undermined actually NRM. So my brother Rwakakamba was saying that NRM is a mass party. I'm a member of NRM, but I know that NRM was mass financial funds. Because when you go for the goodies during the election time, it is the NRM which has the biggest purse money to dish around during the elections. Now, if you put that money out, you might be surprised in 2016. NRM might end up with about 20% or 30% of the money out. Because during the elections, NRM dishes out more money than any other party. Actually, the opposition is crippled by two things. One, charisma, lack of visionary leadership, charisma, but most importantly, no money. They are financially crippled. So I don't see why this should be a heroic welcome, because was the nation expecting less of him at the United Nations General Assembly? But what was it? And after 28 years of performance, is this new? That should be when you wage war and vanquish your enemies, a man should. But there is imminent purging to isolate the Amama Mbabazi fans, supporters, and this is actually what has been kicked in motion.
What is going to happen?
They are going to be purging out of those people. Like, remember, was it May 27 during the Project 2? All the buses and everybody, and even the traders who didn't want to go to Mushabe, they had to go because they had to be seen that they like the prison, they love the prison. You are going to see people coming from Chikubo and the other Indians and other, they are going to flock to Entebbe to be seen that actually they are but we are at a level of deception and pretense which is unhealthy for this nation.
You know, in Kenya during the Moise time, they used to say, Minister President, my plan is to undirect. Morrison, Rwakakamba.
I think there is very serious discord, especially within the elite, which is some sort of detachment from what happens from the real people on the ground. You see, we come here and analyze and make the noise and do voice of even abuses to our political leaders. But when we go on the ground, we find that the people relish and love their president. They want to showcase that tomorrow. They have
asking for that heroic arrival.
Nobody asks for that heroic arrival, but people want to celebrate these achievements they are seeing. By the way, let me tell you that the press of Uganda now in the world, in the history of this country and within East Africa and everywhere, has never been at this bar high. You can see, today you saw the picture of the New Vision, Sam Kutesa with Barack Obama engaging on issues of climate change, issues of food security, issues of managing Ebola in Africa. The liberal notions under the Pan-African agenda that Uganda has done in Somalia, in Rwanda, in Democratic Republic of Congo, and all these places, the place of Uganda in the world is now very clear, and the footprints are everywhere on the African continent. So that is not something you can wish away. You can deal that with it, be dismissive as the opposition has been, but when you go to the polls, you get defeated. Mushabe talks about money in politics. He talks about money in politics. Let me tell you that we must know that people of Uganda are ingenious. We cannot abuse the ingenuity of Ugandan people so they can be bought by money. I want to give you an example of one of the panelists here. Charles Rumshana in 1984. When he stood in Upunjiri, Rumshana was just left university. He was standing with people like Sam Bengana, who was a permanent secretary, and other people, Dr. Alex Kamusha, who were giving out money and buying soda. And I remember they came to my school, I was in senior 3, and they were, buying goods for us. Rumshana came with a lot, and he defeated them by over 70% of the points. People either ate the money, but they followed ideas. So this tendency, so that NRM survives on money, in my view, is not baked in evidence, and it is not what you have just
Vincent, Mayanja, let's talk about the Lord Mayor. First of all, we'll get you be prosecuted, the former Prime Minister. We'll generally prosecute him. I see a situation where my friend Amama is being subjected to so many things, including prosecution. Removing his passport, the red one, is that that has started. You will see being stage managed to demonstrate the way he's against the way he's running the party. That is going to be done. You are going to see cases with IGG surfacing. You are going to see cases that we were told that we are buried being resurrected, and all that is going to come back. Yeah. But I want to tell him one thing. In Africa, opposition politics is not a bed of roses. You should be ready for that, and you can know that I sympathize. Well, even roses have their thorns, unless they are plastic roses. But listen, the IGG said she has no case against Amama, but she issued a statement on the same day Amama was fired. No case against the man, so he's going to be working with you. Let's talk about the Lord Mayor right now. Why is he fighting his deputy, firing him all of a sudden?
Well, I think Mr. Elias Lukwago was misadvised. He based his argument and decision on a rumor that was not true, that has been really disputed everywhere. And it is really incredulous that a leader of that caliber can really base his decision on a rumor, and then he goes around talking about it. It is embarrassing. And I want to ask both of them, I want to ask the Lord Mayor, get down, sit down, talk out things, and then we move forward, because we need all of them in the opposition. We still need them to play a part in politics, but you cannot play politics in the opposition if you act like that. You know, they are fighting over something very simple, and we find it really incredible.
Some people think Mao is fighting him because Lukwago wants to take Mao. He wants to be DP president next year.
Well, I don't know whether Elias has declared to contest for the DP presidency, but even if he did, I don't know whether he qualifies because he stood as an independent.
Sorry, talk to us about Chidandala on the tapes on the Lord Mayor.
I was studying this saga very closely, but briefly, I think Elias, my friend, wanted to make a political statement to with Kidandala, telling him, we are allies. If you start listening our lines, maybe I can be hard on you. But because as Deputy Lebia, it was blank. Any of them shot themselves in the foot when they denied him to be, confirmed as the deputy Lord Mayor. Yes. So I think there's a saga. I've spoken about it several times. The meeting that is of the mayors that is coming to sit here. That's where the problem is. They've got themselves in a cocoon. They need a Lord Mayor.
4 Lord Mayors elsewhere.
Those are deputy Lord Mayors.
Is Ian Clark?
Those are deputy.
Robert Carlson.
So I think they shot themselves in the foot when they denied Kidandala to be confirmed as the deputy mayor. Now they need him. That is the confirmed. No. They never confirmed because to confirm him legally, to confirm him.
Let's hear from her. She's a very indisciplined debater, but I need to tell you on the floor. No, but the moderator is telling me that stop. Let me tell you that Norbert Mao today, on page 6 of the New Vision, said that Lukwago handed over Kampala to NRM because of stupidity and confusion. And he's a leader of the DP, and Lukwago actually grew up in the Democratic Party. Much as he stood as an independent, Lukwago has always been a DP. And I think many people in Kampala tend to agree with Norbert Mao and dismissing Chidandala, because you see, we need to first of all analyze, is it legal? Because Mr. Lukwago, the fact that he's a mayor is a contested issue. So then how do you wake up and you say, I have dismissed the deputy mayor? So all these issues, I think, need to be analyzed, and I don't think that the utterances of Mr. Lukwago are in a way legally binding.
Dr. Mushabe, you're a man of the law. Talk to us about this matter.
No one is on record that the minutes which ushered in Chidandala as the deputy mayor were received by KCC management. But there is an imminent contradiction whereby if KCC now decides that Chidandala becomes the new Lord Mayor, they would have now sort of retracted the same statement which they made, saying that previously that he was not properly elected.
No, doctor, I can give you information, please. You see, there were two meetings that approved Kidandala as Lord Mayor. The first one was rejected. But that was ACC organized that. Actually, let me finish, because we have used the confusion of opposition politics.
No, let me make my statement, then we shall go later. Now, you have an issue in the DP that has eaten all the political parties including the NRM. You have the dilute, you have the concentrate. Now, then the road mayor has an issue whereby he stood as an independent, but at the same time, in crisis, he wants to identify himself with the DP. And then that is why they are pulling the ropes. That contradiction is the one which is bringing down DP, the same contradiction bringing down FDC, and the same contradiction bringing down NRM. We have balance. Can such confuse the road mayor cannot fire the road mayor cannot fire Chidandara from the street. He needs an office to have a legal position there, and he's an executive chair and a legal instrument to be able to fire the man. The law doesn't allow him to David, you cannot sack somebody who is there. As deputy Lord Mayor, the position is blank. But the mayorship is blank. What is he firing? That's why the argument is they should not have I wanted the information. I wanted to give information. First of all, there are two councils that sat. One sat in October 2011.
Yes, it was.
And it was circus. It was rejected accordingly that Kidandara was never approved, and the minutes
you can consider me.
Give us the minutes.
Then that one, he brought two men on the floor.
Yes.
And it was rejected because it was done, it was incomplete. Some people stormed out. Then they convened another one in June 2012.
What happened?
And during this one, the entire council unanimously
they agreed the man to close the seat.
But according to the law, that is the process. Then in the process,
the man actually swore in. He was sworn in. So in the process, what the Suleiman Chida, we have to go. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time there. I guess now, Dr. David Mushabe, Executive Director of the African Rainbow Alliance. He's in lawyer, aspiring MP in Mawogola County from the NRM. Thank you for coming tonight. Madam Sarah Eperu, spokesperson of this Women's League, contested in Ngora. We don't know if he's coming Friday, fears with me. Mr. Mayanja, Deputy Secretary General of the Democratic Party. Sorry, another party list secretary, had issues around the secretary. You're still in your position. Special position license and research and information. Thank you for tuning in. Being host Edmonton. Have a very good weekend. Spectrum will be back on Monday. Right now, in English.
It was the best joke ever.
This big guy, he comes up to this tiny guy.